Hey Raiders fans, how's everybody doing today? Because wow, what a morning for the Silver and Black. The Raiders have gone out and made a move that nobody really saw coming. Tyler Lockett is officially heading to Las Vegas. Yeah, you heard that right. The longtime Seattle standout, the guy who spent nearly a decade lighting up secondaries, is now reuniting with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith in the desert. And the timing of it all? That's what's got everyone talking. Now, if you've been following this team for a while, you already know the Raiders have a certain pattern when it comes to bringing players in. It's all about connections, relationships, trust, and familiarity. That's been the core of how this new regime operates. And let's be honest, this one checks every single box. Lockett knows Pete Carroll inside and out. He's been one of Geno Smith's go-to-targets for years. These are bonds that go beyond the field, and for a team that's been struggling to find chemistry, that could actually matter more than people realize. Let's rewind a little bit. Tyler Lockett was drafted back in 2015 by Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. From day one, he was that reliable, consistent weapon every quarterback dreams of having. Over 8 seasons in Seattle, he developed into one of the most underrated wideouts in the league. Quick off the line, sharp in his routes, and always dependable when the game was on the line. So when you think about why the Raiders would bring a guy like that in mid-season, it's not just about numbers. It's about leadership, it's about accountability, and it's about trying to stabilize a team that's been anything but stable. Still, there's a big question hanging over this move. Why now? The Raiders are sitting at 2 wins and 5 losses, fresh off their bye week, and nowhere near where they wanted to be in late October. This isn't exactly the type of roster that looks one wide receiver away from turning things around. So bringing in a 32-year-old veteran might sound confusing at first. But if you look closer, there's a bigger picture being painted here. Let's start with Geno Smith. This organization invested a lot in him this offseason. The front office clearly believes he's their guy, even if some fans still aren't fully convinced. The chemistry between Geno and his receivers has been shaky, and if you watch those last few games, you could see it. Missed timing, broken routes, drives that stalled because the offense just wasn't clicking. Lockett could be that spark. He and Geno already know each other's tendencies, their rhythm, their communication style. Sometimes, that kind of familiarity can make a bigger difference than any playbook tweak or film session ever could. Then there's the Pete Carroll factor. Say what you want about him, but he's a coach who thrives on loyalty. When he trusts a player, he goes to battle with him. Lockett isn't just another body. He's someone Pete believes in. Bringing him in might not just be about catching passes. It could be about helping reset the tone inside that locker room. Because right now, that's something this team desperately needs. You can feel the frustration building, veterans unhappy, young players not getting the reps they expected, and an overall sense that the team hasn't found its groove since the season kicked off. A few weeks ago, when rumors first started swirling that the Raiders could be in the market for a veteran wideout, the name that came up was Amari Cooper. The front office was looking for someone experienced, someone who could lead the younger receivers. But that idea fizzled out fast, and maybe that was for the best. Lockett brings a completely different energy. He's a worker, a team-first kind of guy, and someone who's proven year after year that he can stay productive even when the offense around him isn't perfect. So what does this mean for players already on the roster? That's where things get interesting. If you've been paying attention, the name Jakobi Meyers keeps coming up. He's been solid since joining the team, but rumors are swirling that he might be on the trade block. If that's true, this move could be the writing on the wall. The timing lines up, trade deadline right around the corner, teams like Pittsburgh and Buffalo hunting for wide receiver help, and Meyers would definitely draw interest. If the Raiders are preparing to move him, then Lockett might be the bridge that keeps this offense afloat for the rest of the year. But here's the thing. Not everyone's buying into this win-now mentality. There are plenty of fans who look at this season as a rebuild year. They want to see the younger guys get more snaps. They want to see players like Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Beck get thrown into the fire, make their mistakes, and grow through it. Bringing in another veteran might help in the short term, but is that really the direction this team should be going? That's the question fans are wrestling with right now. And honestly, I get both sides. On one hand, if you're Pete Carroll, you can't just throw in the towel halfway through the season. Coaches coach to win. That's their job. You can't walk into the locker room and tell players you're already thinking about next year. You've got to show them you still believe in this group, that you're still fighting. Signing Lockett sends that message loud and clear. On the other hand, if you're looking at this from a long-term perspective, it's hard not to wonder whether those reps would be better spent on young talent that's still developing. And speaking of long-term, let's talk about the pressure this move adds. Because make no mistake, this ups the stakes for everyone involved. For Geno Smith, there are no more excuses. You've got your guy back, the receiver you trust most, and the offensive coordinator was handpicked to fit your style. If the offense still doesn't click, that spotlight gets a lot hotter. For Pete Carroll, this move ties even more the team's fate to his circle of guys. If it doesn't work, fans are going to start asking hard questions about whether this staff is too loyal to familiar faces instead of focusing on what's best for the future. Now, I'll be real, I don't think this is a bad move in isolation. Tyler Lockett is a pro's pro. He's not going to come in here demanding the spotlight or shaking things up in a negative way. He's the type of player who shows up, puts in the work, and lets his play do the talking. But at the same time, this move has ripple effects that go beyond the field. It changes the tone of the locker room. It alters how the coaching staff distributes playing time, and it sends a clear signal about what kind of team the Raiders are trying to be in the second half of the season. Some fans are calling this a desperation move, a last-ditch effort to salvage something from a season that hasn't gone according to plan. But others see it as a calculated risk, a small but meaningful attempt to steady the ship before it completely tips over. Because here's the truth, the Raiders have talent. They've shown flashes of it in almost every game. But consistency has been their Achilles heel. Every time it feels like they're about to build some momentum, something stalls, a turnover, a miscommunication, a blown coverage. If Lockett can help even out those small mistakes, bring a little bit of veteran calm to an offense that's been frantic at times, maybe that's worth the gamble. It's also worth noting how much this move says about the mindset of this coaching staff. They're not ready to wave the white flag. Bringing in someone like Lockett means they're still chasing wins. They're still believing that something can click. Whether that belief is realistic or not, that's up for debate. But the message is clear, they're not done fighting. The next few weeks are going to be fascinating. With the trade deadline looming, with whispers about potential deals flying around, this roster could look very different by the time the Raiders hit the field against Denver on Thursday night. If Jacoby Myers does end up getting moved, that'll be the clearest sign yet that this Lockett move was part of a bigger plan all along. But for now, one thing's certain, Tyler Lockett is officially a Raider. He's reuniting with his old coach, linking back up with his quarterback, and stepping into a locker room that desperately needs leadership and direction. Whether this ends up being a spark that reignites the offense or just another headline in a season full of them, well, we're about to find out. All right, so let's keep digging into what this Tyler Lockett signing really means for the Raiders, because this isn't just some random mid-season roster move. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that paints a much bigger picture of where this franchise stands right now. When you look at this team's body language, the interviews, the post-game pressers, you can feel it. Something's been off. The energy has felt flat, the communication hasn't been sharp, and the chemistry just hasn't been there. That's exactly why this signing feels like more than just adding another receiver. It feels like a message being sent from the top down that things need to change, and they need to change fast. Tyler Lockett isn't the kind of player who walks into a room and instantly becomes the loudest voice. He's more of that quiet leader type, a professional who leads by example. But that's exactly the kind of presence this locker room might be missing right now. When a team hits a rough stretch like this, sometimes you don't need a guy who's going to give fiery speeches. You need someone who just shows up every single day and does his job the right way. That's what Lockett brings. And the younger guys like Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Beck are going to benefit from having someone like him in the building. Watching how he practices, how he runs routes, how he prepares for games. Those are lessons that can't be taught in film sessions. Now, let's be real, though. This move also comes with pressure. You can't bring in another one of Pete Carroll's guys and expect everyone in that locker room to just nod and smile. Players notice. They talk. And when you've got guys who've been waiting for their shot, grinding for reps all season, seeing another veteran parachute and can rub some people the wrong way. The coaching staff has already been accused of showing favoritism to certain players, and adding Lockett could amplify that if things don't turn around quickly. Winning makes everything easier. If the Raiders go out and start stacking wins, nobody's going to care who's getting more targets. But if the offense continues to struggle, those frustrations will start bubbling up again. It's impossible not to draw parallels to the Josh McDaniels era. Remember when players started quietly voicing their frustrations about the culture, the way practices were run, and how communication was handled? Those same warning signs are starting to creep back in. It's not full-blown chaos yet, but you can sense the tension. The bye week was supposed to be a reset. Players were told to rest, clear their minds, and come back ready to go. The idea was to get mentally locked in and hit the ground running after the break. But now, instead of easing back into rhythm, the team is dealing with a major roster shakeup, trade rumors, and the constant pressure of a tough schedule ahead. And let's not sugarcoat it. The next few games are brutal. Beating the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos, who've both been playing solid football, isn't going to be easy. Those are physical teams that will test the Raiders in every phase. If this offense can't get going soon, things could snowball quickly. That's why this Lockett signing feels like a gamble with high stakes. The coaching staff is betting that the familiarity between Lockett, Geno Smith, and Pete Carroll can spark something in this offense before it's too late. There's also the financial side of things. From what's being reported, this deal isn't some huge cap hit. It's likely a short-term, low-cost contract, something around the veteran minimum. That makes it a low-risk move in terms of money, but that doesn't mean it's without consequences. Every dollar spent this late in the season is a dollar you're not rolling over into next year's cap space. And that's where the big debate comes in. Should this team be spending now to chase a few extra wins, or should it be saving every resource for the rebuild that everyone knows is coming? If you ask me, this move says Pete Carroll isn't ready to think about rebuilding just yet. He's coaching like a man who believes he can still make something out of this season. He's not trying to tank for draft position or plan for next year's roster. He's trying to fix what's right in front of him. That kind of stubborn confidence can either inspire a team or blow up in spectacular fashion. The next few weeks will tell us which way it's going to go. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers that could shake the league in 2026. Rumors have started circulating following a recent comment from SHEDEUR Sanders that has left fans and analysts alike speculating wildly about his future. Sources claim that when approached with an invitation to join the Las Vegas Raiders, Sanders didn't hesitate in his response. "I'll go in 2026, he reportedly said, a statement that has since fueled a firestorm of discussions across social media platforms and sports talk shows. For weeks, insiders have been hinting that the Raiders are looking to secure a quarterback who can bring both talent and charisma to a team eager for a new identity. Sanders, known for his sharp arm and remarkable agility, fits the profile perfectly. But what makes this revelation even juicier is the timing. 2026 is not immediate, which has led to speculation about potential college commitments, developmental strategies, or even broader league maneuvers designed to position Sanders as a future star in the silver and black. Fans have been quick to analyze the implications. Could the Raiders be planning a long-term build around Sanders, giving him a runway to grow before he takes the starting role? Or is this just a playful comment from Sanders, designed to keep everyone guessing while he continues to refine his skills elsewhere? Analysts are divided, but one thing is clear. The statement has reignited discussions about the future of the quarterback landscape. Even without a formal contract or official confirmation, the notion of Sanders joining Las Vegas has the city's fan base buzzing. Social media is ablaze with mock headlines, fan art, and predictions. Some suggest that if this pans out, Sanders could become the centerpiece of the Raiders' resurgence, potentially transforming the team's fortunes by the mid-2020s. Others caution that rumors rarely materialize exactly as imagined, but in the NFL, a single remark can sometimes hint at seismic shifts. For now, the sports world will be watching closely, dissecting every interview, every gesture and every minor hint Sanders drops in the coming months. One thing is certain. The comment "I'll go in 2026" has already created a story that won't die anytime soon. Raiders fans and football enthusiasts everywhere are bracing for what could be the next big narrative in the NFL saga. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.